What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have a lot of very, very important things to talk about in today's episode. Stocks went crazy, and a lot of growth stocks just got hammered today. AMC and SPCE got smacked as well. In today's video, we're going to be explaining what's happening in the market right now, some of the best plays to watch for the rest of the week. We have a ton of great info and a ton of great plays. Make sure to stick around to the end. Also, at the end of today's video, we have a $46 million trade for this Friday. Make sure you stick around. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. But Tom, let's get right into it.
Yeah, today was pretty bad. Like you said, SPCE really got killed today, down 12%. Unfortunately, AMC is just continuing to fall off a cliff here. They fell right below that $40 support the other day, continuing to go down. They're at $32.50 pretty much today at the end of the day. Pretty terrible for them. Hopefully they can bounce up tomorrow. If not, I think we're just going to see more selling pressure. And I'll be honest, on the daily chart, I do see a support right around where we are. But other than that, it looks almost like they're just going to continue straight down here. I could see them almost falling down to that $20 support, all the way down to those highs from whenever they ran up with GME. But definitely have your eyes on AMC. SPCE, like I said, was no better, down 12%. They just continue to sell off after that $500 million adjustment. And then the SPY was even down today in the middle of the day, ended up falling down. I believe did we at least get close? Yeah, we hit all-time highs this morning, I believe, and then just came right back down.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of growth stocks just got smacked. You look at UPWK down 17%, Enphase down 7%, DraftKings down 6%, Zoom down almost 5%. A lot of stocks are really red today, and it's not looking good. And what worries me more than anything else is, I want to say like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I made a video on the $4.5 billion trade that's happening in the market right now. Long story short, some institution put $4.5 billion into some SPX call options, right? They started getting in on June 18th, which was basically a short-term bottom. And here's the thing, Tom, they started closing their call position today. And the smart money, like when they make moves, it's really important to take note of them, because look, if you're some institution putting $4.5 billion with a B into SPX calls, and you're making those big, like huge trades, you definitely know something that most people don't.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a lot of money. And that those institutions, they definitely know what's going on. So definitely look at that trade. Go follow that video, guys. We'll throw it in the comments down below for you. But definitely not a good time for the SPY or the SPX right now at all. Pretty much the S&P and a lot of these indexes, they might start coming down whenever these tech stocks start to fall. And man, like we're seeing Apple start to get overextended. Nvidia as well. Apple actually had a great green day today, but Nvidia had a terrible day, down 2%. They're actually retesting that like 790 support today.
For sure. And then, Tom, is there any other major news that happened in the market today?
Powell did come out this morning and say that he pretty much said that the Fed is still a ways off from altering their policy per CNBC, and that they expect inflation to moderate. But he did say, in his own words, conditions in the labor market have continued to improve, but there is still a long way to go, adding that inflation has increased notably due mostly to temporary factors. But he did also say, though, that inflation might also stay up for the next few months. So it's definitely still going to be transitory, like everybody's talking about. But at the same time, it's going to be around for a couple months. I think that they were talking about around 6 months or so.
Yeah, I just think there's so many variables going on. Personally, I don't think inflation will be transitory. I mean, I know there's a lot of variables and a lot of data that comes out every month, but the inflation data that was reported yesterday, it definitely wasn't a good sign. And I think that we might be seeing a little bit of that, like investor fear, looking at some of the growth stocks today. Like, these are some huge like moves today. Enphase down 7%, DraftKings down 6%. A lot of stocks are just down like quite a bit today.
Yeah, and DraftKings is just terrible. I mean, it just sucks to see all these stocks starting to fall off a cliff. It's just definitely not a good sign, and they were all recovering up nicely. So for right now, it's definitely, almost like that time to start like selling puts, or almost like a good time to start averaging into shares as we start getting back down to some of these supports. And with DraftKings, it looks like, we're getting really close to that like $45 area. We just moved below it, but looks like that bottom level around $40 is going to be coming up soon. So definitely have my eyes on that. And, Boeing had a terrible day today. They had some bad news come out about one of their jets. So definitely not good for them, I should say, in the short term, but looks like they're coming down to support around 220. So it just seems like, as they're going down, they are getting closer and closer to these supports at least.
For sure. And I love companies like DraftKings, Enphase, Zoom, and Redfin for the long term. And seeing them down like this, ultimately, it's just an opportunity to slowly average into shares, or even like you said, Tom, selling puts. So either way, there will be opportunities. And I think that there are opportunities right now, like with DraftKings for selling puts. So definitely keep that in mind. But let's get right into these momentum plays in our member of the day. Today's member of the day is CF Martinez. Huge shout out CF. Looks like he had a pretty solid day today. It said space puts came in clutch, and looks like he made almost like $2,000 today. So awesome job with the trades. It looks like you had a pretty awesome percentage gain. So awesome job. Keep up the hard work, and thanks for being a positive member of the community. But now let's get right into these momentum plays. And with the first one, we have Neo to the downside.
Yeah, Neo unfortunately continues to go down. They're actually just like at that bottom of right at open a few days ago, but definitely watch for them to fall right below 42.65.
All right, with the next one, we have Redfin.
RDFN, go ahead and make them fall below 54.75. If they break below that pre-market, watch for 54.60.
All right, and then with the last one, we have Zoom.
Zoom, and this one, another one of the downside, and this one, really watch for them to break below 360 even.
Sounds good. So we are watching these three plays for potential day trades tomorrow to the downside, only if they break below the levels Tom listed. But Tom, we got to highlight the hybrid bot play today. So this bot has been on fire. Of course, it doesn't win every play, but it had an amazing call out today. Call out the SPY 438 strike puts at a perfect time when they were around like $239 each. And these things exploded all the way up to $360 each. So it did just had a great play today. If you guys want to trade with the bot, Tom and myself, every single day, definitely check out the first link in the description down below. You can try out the bot. And worst case scenario, if you don't like it, you can cancel it anytime. The bot has been on fire though, so definitely consider checking it out. Like I said, it's that first link in the description down below. But Tom, it's now time to get into the $46 million trade for this Friday. And we are looking at Tesla. Specifically, we're looking at the Tesla 670 strike calls that expire this Friday. I'm definitely going to say that they're shorting these calls.
Yeah, I would say so as well. And with how much money is going into this 46 million, I would almost bet that it's like a covered call or something like that. Somebody's holding some shares and they just want to get like a quick buck to end the week. And I think that's a really smart idea for them. Actually, I think it will work out too. Tesla's looking pretty bad to the downside, as we're seeing a lot of these other growth stocks falling off as well. And man, I could see Tesla possibly coming down to this like bottom support level, somewhere like right around like 645. Maybe 650, but I would say it's more around like 645 tomorrow.
All right, well, let's get right into the comments from the previous video. With the first comment, we have Hunter saying, someone took AMC behind the barn and put it down like Old Yeller. I am owed multiple apologies from people over the past few weeks. I will say that. Yeah, AMC is looking pretty brutal. Guys, let us know what you think about this one. I know some people are saying, the squeeze already happened and now it's going to tank down to 20. And then we have some people saying, now's the time to buy the dip. So let us know what you think about AMC in the comments down below. I am extremely curious to hear what you guys have to say because there's so many differing opinions. And I feel like there aren't too many people who are just in the middle. I feel like you're either someone who thinks AMC is going to tank down or explode up.
For sure. Like you said, it's almost like both sides of the extremes right there. So definitely let us know in the comments. It'll be very interesting. And man, that was hilarious. Hunter took it down like Old Yeller. And man, I think it did down 15%. Definitely not looking good.
For sure. And then we have Corbin talking about Boeing, Tom. I know they had that negative catalyst the other day. How's it looking?
Yeah, not looking good right now, falling right below this 225 support today. I really didn't like the way it sold off to end the day, and there was some bad news that came out with those jets kind of like we talked about a little bit earlier, but man, it's just not a good sign. I know that they had some good news with China to end the week last week, but ended up having bad news now this week, and it's not a good sign. I have a good support though at $220. So as we start to fall down, I think that would be a good area to maybe start to average in. I think we could still possibly go lower than that even, but hopefully we can hit right there and stop.
For sure. And then with the next comment, we have Bravo saying, I bought VIX at the end of day today. We'll give it a shot. Thanks, guys. Great analysis. So if we look at VXX, this thing finished in the red today, but it is holding its ground. And ultimately, I think it could be a pretty solid hedge if you are holding any long positions.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's actually a really smart play. The market was not looking good today. We saw a lot of stocks pull back, even though the indice, the SPY, ended up hitting all-time highs. It really had a pretty big pullback in the middle of the day. So I would definitely be aware. And I think the VXX, like you said, Mike, is a really good hedge. And I think it looks pretty good down here around this like 29 support. It did dip down to 28, but man, it's hit off of 29 quite a while. And it's sitting there right now. But definitely be careful. If the market goes up to all-time highs, you might have to cut it. But man, I think it's definitely a good hedge.
All right, and then with the next comment, we have Alan saying, can you do a video on TTCF? It's ready to fly, just needs volume. So let's take a look at TTCF. It's down around 5% today, and they are making lower highs, which is not a good sign. I'm not a huge fan of the setup right now. However, they do have a really big support at 16. If we see a retest of that level, it can be good, but for right now, it's just not a play for me.
Yeah, me either. And it almost just looks like more of like a negative play right now. Like you said, Mike, it might hold support, but definitely be careful with it. I think in the longer term, it might do pretty well, but in the short term, it's definitely in more of like a bearish setup right now for sure.
Sounds great. So Tom, let's just like look at the overall market a little bit more. We're just seeing a lot of selling pressure, but in weird ways. Like for example, the SPY itself finished up today. It was up 0.15%, but a lot of stocks that a lot of people trade, like Enphase, DraftKings, Zoom, Palantir, are down significantly. And it seems like the selling pressure isn't going to end at least this week. So we're just seeing a very interesting market right now. What are some of your thoughts? Like, do you have any other potential setups or anything you're looking at?
Yeah, I mean, there's just it just seems like the some of those stocks that just keep continuing to break out to all-time highs, like Apple, for example, AAPL, they're definitely just a stock that's just a powerhouse. They just keep going. Another example is like Target. I don't know why these stocks just keep running and running and running, but eventually they'll have to pull back. But for right now, I mean, Target looks pretty decent, I'd say. Looks like it might continue up for tomorrow. I don't know how high this is going to get. I thought it was going to stop around $250, but just definitely interesting. We're seeing a lot of these banks, even for example, starting to go down with these earnings as well. They did recover a little bit in the middle of the day, but overall, these banks have not been moving good, and it just seems like that the markets, like you said, it's just like a strange time. They're like at all-time highs, but we're seeing a lot of things going down, and I think it must just be like Apple and some of those key stocks kind of just keeping it up right now. But for the overall market, I would say we should see some downwards movement coming pretty soon.
You know it. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. The market is very interesting right now. Of course, if you want to try out our bot, definitely check it out. It's the first link in the description down below. The hybrid bot has been on fire lately. Had that amazing SPY put day trade today. Of course, it doesn't win every single play, but it has been on fire lately, and it's definitely worth trying out. In the worst case scenario, you can cancel at any time, but overall, the community is amazing. Daily swing trades, day trades, and a ton of custom bots. Definitely check it out. It's that first link in the description down below. And then come join Tom and I live every single day at Market Open. The link for that is also in the description down below, and the Stocked Up Live YouTube channel. And if you are new here, of course, don't forget to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. But other than that, thanks for watching.